So yesterday something amazing happened. So Vidit Gujrathi drew against a player who was seriously weaker than he was. And everybody on the internet went nuts. How can he draw? How is this possible? So there are two things to analyze here. First of all, why did Vidit really draw his game against a weaker opponent? And the second thing is a lesson for all of us, how we can use the tool his opponent used in this game and get our game to the next level so that we can also draw and defeat higher rated players. So let's dive straight into it. So the first element to understand is why did Vidit draw his game? You have to understand his opponent is a grandmaster. Not the top grandmaster you imagine like Magnus Carlsen, but he is pretty strong. He has his own opening preparations, which he can look forward to in the chess-based tool, which provides us with many ways to get your opening preparation up to date. You can literally pick out each and every game your opponent has ever played, analyze it to death with the help of a computer, find out improvements, and use those games as a weapon against your opponent. His own games as a weapon against him. For example, let's say you're preparing against Vidit Gujrathi. You take all his games he has played in his entire lifetime that are available on the internet. You analyze them with ChessBase. You try to find a weakness, one weakness that you feel you can exploit, and you go for that opening line and try to play the moves which he has already played in a previous game, and then find an improvement with the help of a computer. So Vidit wasn't really playing his opponent yesterday. He was playing an engine, and there was absolutely no way he could have won that game. In fact, I'm happy he took the draw, and now he will be playing the rapid event where he will have much better chances. All he has to do is come up with a new idea. So two elements to understand here. First of all is the time at the end of the game. Look at how much time his opponent has. He barely thought over the board. It was all prepared at home. And as of the accuracy, both played at such a high accuracy in the game. So basically his opponent was blitzing out computer moves, and Vidit was thinking, taking his time, trying to analyze and coming up with the best moves as well. So there was absolutely nothing Vidit could have done to kind of win this game, apart from playing an altogether different opening, of course. But it's very easy to think that in hindsight rather than actually when you're about to play the game. And now for the second part, I really want to give you a slight idea about how opening preparation is done, because this is something which will be incredibly useful to you when you actually play OTB chess like ever in your life. And here, for example, this is the Catalan with the knight c6 setup. So black here captures on c4 and then plays knight c6. So the advantage is he's attacking the d4 pawn, so it's very difficult for white, for example, to start expanding. But on the other hand, he's blocking his c pawn, so the c pawn cannot move. So it's kind of a dynamic way for black to play. And here white just plays queen a4, bishop b4, bishop d2. And after knight b5, white has two moves. One is actually queen b5, and one is actually bishop takes b4. Now, Vidit played bishop takes b4. Now, you have to remember, all of this was analyzed at home. Let's try to flip the board. His opponent sat down and move by move, he played everything white could play here. So, as the main moves are queen b5 and bishop b4, let's say he first played queen b5 and then he saw, okay, what is the best move? What is the move the engine is recommending me? Let's say it is bishop takes d2. Okay, so what can I do? Okay, the engine is saying I should play knight takes d2. Okay, so what can black play now? He can probably play c3 or he can play castles. Okay, what else can I do? So he's move by move trying to see all the responses which one side can have and trying to refute it one by one. Same way, so once he finished queen b5, he went to bishop takes b4 now, and then he used ChessBase to kind of understand, okay, bishop takes b4, which knight should I capture with? So the engine recommends, okay, you should capture with this knight. Okay, great. I'll capture with this knight. Now, which moves has white ever played in this position? All the moves, all the serious moves which white has ever played, he would have analyzed from here. So because they knew the pairings beforehand, they knew the pairings from way back. So he kind of knew he will end up facing with it if he managed to win the first round. So he had months to prepare for this. I'm sure he has prepared a lot for Vidit. So Vidit might not have taken him too seriously, of course, because he's a significantly rotated player, but he would not have taken Vidit lightly. So in that case, now Vidit has to come up with a new idea. So now he can go further. He can see, okay, castles is the best move. What is the best move for me? It's probably rook b8. Let's play rook b8. So move by move, he prepares everything. All you need is a database of old games and an engine with you, and you can literally out-prepare the topmost grandmasters by this. Of course, you need to have some understanding of the chess-based tool in general, the use of engines, the how do you formulate the idea in your mind. But overall, I think if you know how to use this, you can use this to defeat literally anybody on a good day, as long as they play what you're expecting. So Vidit was kind of unlucky here, and the opening position could have gone way deep. So he never used any time. As you can see, his clock here has not even moved. You can clearly see his clock, right? It's 1 hour 33 minutes. It has not even moved. And as we move forward, we'll see he never uses any time. With his clock will constantly go down, but his clock will not. That tells you everything. Everything was prepared at home. And right now in this position, after c6, b3, king f7, knight b2, Vidit is trying to play b4. Rook a8 is the first time he thought in the entire game, I think, at least seriously. And now Vidit had a choice to kind of play this symmetrical position with absolutely nothing to do. In fact, he has the weakness on d4. So imagine the king gets to d6, the knight somehow reroutes itself to e6, then suddenly white is the one who has to worry a little bit. So I think Vidit took the best practical decision of playing b4 and simply exchanging all the pawns and taking the draw here. Now all he has to do is come up with a new idea, which his opponent most probably has not prepared for beforehand, from picking up his game from way back, 50 years back, and trying to find some improvement there, which you don't even remember by the time you are actually sitting over the board. So if he finds a new idea, which he understands well, I think Vidit will win this comfortably. His opponent has not even thought over the board until now in the last game. So I think Vidit has a great chance of winning, and we can look forward to seeing him in round 3.